Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. Progress is not possible. That's a quote from Frank Zappa. I don't think a lot of people know this about myself personally, but I am a big Frank Zappa fan. Not necessarily all his music per se, but his thought. Meaning, for me personally, I can listen endlessly to interviews with him on YouTube, and just his idea and take about different aspects of life. He talked a lot about the music business, the problems with it. He understood culture in a really interesting way in the United States. And he was just an overall, I think, interesting person. You know, I like more his music from the earlier times, like in his premier album, and then, you know, the 60s music, early 70s. I liked that quite a bit. The Rats was great. And, you know, some of the stuff later as well, but it's, you know, it's definitely an acquired taste in some ways, but I definitely love the earlier albums. And actually, from what I know and researching about him and his music, he had a profound influence on the Beatles, and supposedly, you know, his music was the inspiration for Sgt. Pepper. So we owe a lot to Zappa for kind of really the, you know, impact it's had on our music, you know, throughout the decades in many ways. So although I'm not as big of a fan of what's out now, and for many years has been, unfortunately, there's some good things, but definitely not the same for my personal taste. But why am I talking about Zappa? Because I want to talk about the importance of embracing your inner beast, your inner like rush of energy that I think each one of us has deep inside, but we don't express all the time, for fear, for being shamed, for, I don't know, just silly things, right? What I love about why I reference Zappa is because he just seemed to, for better or worse sometimes, knowing enough about him and listening to enough of his interviews and watching a documentary about him as well, and reading a little bit of biographies on him, you know, he would, pretty unfiltered guy, to say the least. Really, you know, raw and authentic in many ways, and he just seemed like an open book in many capacities, and I really appreciate that about him. I don't agree with everything he said, for sure, but many things I thought were quite thought-provoking and really made me think deeper on a lot of subjects. But in his music, he just comes out full force, full of life, full of energy. Sometimes it's so hard to follow what he's doing, and it's so deep and intricate, actually, his dynamism of music. And he's actually, I mean, just so talented, or he was so talented. He's not alive anymore, but he was so talented. I mean, the musicians in the band were just phenomenal musicians as well. He was just a very, very unique voice in the world at his time, and also a very, I think, important overall, you know, just force of good when it came to music, especially, you know. I mean, go ahead and listen to him if you haven't, and you'll see, you know, why you may or may not be turned on to his type of music. But what I'm trying to say in the end is, if you watch especially some of his live shows, he just comes all out with full expression, full force, full authenticity, but he's embracing those deep parts within us that are just, I think, longing to be expressed. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Embrace that let's say, powerful beast inside of you of energy, of force, of, you know, whatever it is. I mean, as long as you're not harming anyone, obviously, but that force of just expression, that beast of expression that desires to be released into the world and just shared. I mean, and people can interpret it any way they want, as long as you're not obviously harming someone else. Again, however, I think we all truly desire that truly authentic part of us, that self of us, to come out and just be shared with the world. It's about connection, unfiltered connection, authentic, just in a way raw, you know. And the reason there's so many people that may come to your own mind, and please comment below who those may be as well, that really show a true force of brute power that is kind of mesmerizing, right? And that I think sometimes can emulate resonate with the way we truly feel inside, but we're afraid to express ourselves for whatever fear-related reason. So I encourage you today to do whatever it is you think can really bring out all the forces of expression inside of you, and just let it come out in whatever medium you think is interesting and you think is best. I think it's just an interesting topic. I want to do it more myself, you know, and I've done it especially through music in the past, but trying to discover other ways as well, you know, and I'm seeking those out. So please comment below. What are some even people that come to your mind? When for me it's Frank Zappa, but other people that come to your mind that are like these powerful forces that show just these incredible energies of expression. You know, it could be through art, it could be through painting, it could be through architecture, even it could be through many things, you know. But comment below, what is a way in which you see other people who have done that? How do they do it? And what would you do, or what do you do for yourself to, you know, to express in that way? So please comment below, and remember, like the video if you truly enjoy this insight, and I'll see you in the next SpirChat. Take care, everyone.